Hello and welcome to my channel Happy Hours. In this video I am going to discuss about the Indian art and culture, under which I am going to discuss about the architecture, which are further divided in four parts. The first one is ancient Indian architecture, under which I am going to describe about the Harappan and the Mauryan architecture. In the Mauryan architecture I am going to describe about the pillar, caves and stupas. In the early medieval, I'm going to describe about the temples. There were three schools of the temples. First was the Nagar, then Vestar, then the Dravida. In the medieval, Delhi Sultanate to Mughals, and the last one is the modern section where I'm going to describe about the Portuguese, Gothic, and Indo-Saracenic. So let us first understand the architecture. Architecture having the certain criteria. First one is the broad geographical pattern. It is going to cover a large area. Many materials are going to be involved, like such as bricks, stones, woods, etc. And it will have a defined geometry. Geometry is very proportionate. First aspect of art and culture is Harappan architecture. It was the first urban civilization in India. The town planning is one of the important part of the architecture. It was very uniform. City was divided in two parts. The western part was also known as citadel or city, the raised portion. The eastern part as the lower town, the citadel. Generally, it was fortified either by bricks or stones. There must be a gate also. This was the elite for the elite class. There must be an administrative building also. And some huge religious structures also. Lower town. It was the house of the common people. There were industries, markets, etc. located in this area. Now we are going to discuss about the town planning of the Harappan. City was based on grid pattern. Doors and windows do not open on the main road except in the Lothal, Gujarat. Houses were double-storied. Also, sometimes it was constructed with sun-dried bricks and woods. Drainage system was a unique achievement of the architecture of the Harappan civilization. It was unparalleled to the whole world civilization, and drains were covered with slabs. They were connected to each other and finally falling inside the soaking pits. The 80% of the modern town planning can be understood by the Harappan civilization. The biggest drawback of the Harappan water management system was the construction of drinking well besides the soaking pits. So there were suffering from many waterborne diseases. In the Harappan civilization, there was conservation of reservoir near the city. So we can say that they had environmental concern, that is, they understand that they have to save water. For example, the Dholavira, Gujarat. Roads were cutting each other at 90-degree angle. Harappans constructed dockyards for trade purpose. It was constructed at Lothal, Gujarat for export and import from Mesopotamia, Egypt, Iraq, Iran, etc. countries. Now we are going to proceed further with the Mauryan architecture. It is further divided into pillars and caves. Pillars. Many Mauryan pillars are found in different parts of India. There are three parts of pillars. First, shaft, then base, and that at the down one, and the upper one is the capital. The most attractive part was the capital, constructed with the monolithic stone, means only one stone, with grey stone. There is a place called Chunar in UP. From here, the large piece of stones were sent to Taxila for crafting. After getting crafted, they were sent to different parts or different places of Mauryan Empire. These three parts were connected together with a copper bolt. Shaft was very nicely polished and scripted. polishing was the hallmark of the Mauryan pillar. Sarnath pillar is the classic example of the Mauryan pillar. Gautam Buddha gives his first religious discourse. The Sarnath is famous for that. Ashoka constructed a pillar. The capital of Sarnath pillar is highly artistic because it is having the inverted lotus above. They have constructed a Bacchus, and then on the top of it there are four lions crawling facing each direction. In the abacus there are four animals. They are separated by 24 spoke wheel. Four animals are bull, horse, elephant, and lion. We modified it and added Satyamev Jayate, which is taken from Manduka Upanishad, and make it a national emblem. Ashoka pillars are found in various parts of our country. It is even found in Afghanistan, Kandahar, and where it is bilingual scripted. It is scripted in two languages, Kharoshti and Greek. In Nepal, two pillars are found, one in Rumindei and second one is Nigali Sagar. In Bihar, it is where we are having three. One is Loria Ariraj, second is Loria Nandargarh, and the third one is Rampura. These are very close to Nepal. Next, we found two in Delhi Topra and Delhi Meerut. Topra is in Haryana, Meerut is in UP. These pillars were originally built in Topra and Meerut but were brought by Firoz Shah Tughlaq to Delhi for the beautification of Delhi. Next, we can find in Allahabad, Sanchi, and Sarnath. So, total there are 11 pillars found. Now, we are going to proceed further with the cave architecture. There are two types of caves. First in natural and the second one is man-made. For the natural we can have two examples like Bora cave and Bhimbetka. In ancient India the first man-made cave which we know is during the time of Mauryans. Ashoka and Dasharatha. They constructed caves in Barabar Hills and Nagarjuni Hills. Both are in Bodh Gaya. Bodh Gaya significance is Gautam Buddha got enlightened there. There are four caves. One is Sudama, second Lomas Rishi, third is Karna Chopper, fourth is Vishwat Jhopri. Inside the caves there were natural lighting system. These caves were given to Ajivika sons. Lomas Rishi cave was decorated beautifully. Its entrance was grandly decorated. Hut style facade at the entrance to the cave is the earliest survival of the ogee shaped Chaitya ark or Chandrashala. This is famous because the Lomas Rishi was living here. Now we are going to proceed further to the Ajanta caves. There are 29 caves located at Maharashtra, Aurangabad. 25 of them are Vihar and 4 are Chaitanya. These are all belongs to Buddhists. Vihar is the residential place for the monks, whereas Chaitya are known as Buddhist temple, where the monks were used to pray and meditate. Caves were constructed by Satvahan and the Vakatak dynasty. Cave number 26 is the Chaitya and it is the biggest. Death of Buddha is represented on the walls of the cave in the form of pictures. It is also known as Mahaparinirvan. Ellora Caves. It is at Aurangabad district of Maharashtra. Now it is known as Sambhajinagar. Most of these caves are constructed by Rashtrakuta dynasty. There are total 35 caves. These caves belong to Buddhism, Jainism, and Hinduism. Cave number 1 to 12 is dedicated to Buddhism, 13 to 29 to Hinduism, and the last 5 to the Jainism, 30 to 34. Kailasha temple, which was constructed by Krishna I, is also inside the caves of Ellora, a chariot shaped monument dedicated to Lord Shiva. In the cave number 12, there are many images of Gautam Buddha in different forms, like Padmapani, lotus in the hand. There are three-story caves, 11 and 12, Mahayana monastery caves with idols, mandalas carved into the walls. Elephanta caves. It is the Savite cave dedicated to Lord Shiva. This is also in Maharashtra. We can see many forms of Lord Shiva like Mahesh Murti, Natraj, Ravana Kailash, Andhakari Murti, Sundar Murti. These are the names of Lord Shiva. Sadashiv dominates the entrance to the cave number 1. This cave was also constructed by Rashtrakuta. Now we are going to proceed with the Udayagiri Khandagiri caves. It is in Orissa. There are total 18 caves in Udayagiri, 15 caves in Khandagiri. It was constructed by the king Kharavela of Kalinga. All caves are Jaina Vihar. There are two important caves. One is Hathi Gumfa and the second one is Rani Gumfa. Next one is Badami or Vatapi caves. These are in Karnataka, Balakot district, constructed by Chalukya dynasty. There are 4 caves in it belong to Vishnu, Shiva and Jan. Then the last one is the mixed one. Cave 1 having the dancing Shiva Natraja, Cave 2 Vishnu as Trivikarma, Cave 3 as Ananta seated on the coiled serpent, Cave 4 devoted to Jainism. Now we are going to proceed to the stupa. Stupa is a place of burial or a receptacle for religious objects. Stupa is Sanskrit for heap, an important form of Buddhist architecture. It is having these parts. First is Harmika, then Anda, then Torana, Medhi, Vedika, Sopan, Pradakshinapat, Chhatra and Yasti. First of all, we are going to know about the Harmika. It is a squarish decorative balcony that is meant to surround the pedestal on the top of structure. Contains the relics of Buddha, so most auspicious part. Anda. It is the brick structure that forms the basis of stupa, the dome itself. Torana. Just like gates of the Aryan village, these are ceremonial gateways that are placed in the central part of the structure. The gateway, it was also very nicely decorated. Medhi, a circular terrace enclosed by the railing, surrounds the dome, on which the faithful are to circumambulate in the clockwise direction. Vedika, the wooden or stone railing that surrounds the stupa. Sopan means the staircase and refers to the flight of steps attached to the temple and peripheral buildings. Pradakshinapath, devotees have to enter the path through gateways. The devotees walk around the stupa in the clockwise direction as a monk at the mark of devotion. Next is Chhatra, is an auspicious symbol representing royalty and protection. It is in the form of stone disc, typically decorated the yasti as the apex of the Buddhist stupa. Then last one is the yasti. At the top of stupa is the yasti or spire which symbolizes the axis mundi, a line through the earth's center around which the universe is thought to revolve. It is surrounded by Harmika. Now we are going to discuss about few examples of the stupa. The first one is the Sachi stupa, which is in Madhya Pradesh. It is the largest stupa constructed by Ashoka, constructed with the large burnt bricks and mud mortar in the 2nd century BCE. It was reconstructed by the Shungas. Now the next one is Dhamek, which is in Sarnath, constructed by Ashoka, later rebuilt in Gupta period. Relics of Buddha is kept here also. Buddha gave first religious discourse, which is also known as Dharma Chakra Pravartana. That's why the Sarnath is famous for. Stupa of solid cylinder of bricks and stones. Ashoka constructed 84,000 stupas. He was devoted to Buddhism. We are going to proceed to the early medieval India construction of temples. There were three types of temples construction. First one was Nagar, then Dravida, then Vishar. We are going to discuss about each one by one. The Nagara, which was in the entire north above the Narmada river. In the Nagar, we are having Orissa school, Khajuraho school, and Solanki school. This is a style of architecture popular in the northern India. The Garbhagriha is also located directly at the tallest tower. Does not usually have elaborate boundary walls or gateways. Antaral, the gap between the Mahamandapa and the Garbhagriha. Outside of the Garbhagriha, images of the river goddess Ganga and Jamna was placed. Presence of assembly halls and mandapas. Here ceremonies can be performed. There is a Panchayatam style in Nagara, where main sanctum with subsidiary shrines. The Jagdish temple in Udaipur is the best example of this. No water tanks or reservoir are present in the temple premises. Now we are going to discuss about the Orissa. In this style, it is consists of three distinct type of temple. First is Jagannath temple, second is Lingaraj temple, and the Sun temple are the best example of Orissa. Now we are having another example, that is the Ram Mandir Ayodhya, which is also constructed on the Orissa school. Now the last one is Khajuraho school. Khajuraho it is in MP. It was constructed by Chandela dynasty. Theme of Kama Sutra sculpture. Both exterior and interior walls are decorated. And the best one is Kandariya Mahadev temple. There is another school which is known as Solanki school, constructed by the Chalukya dynasty. Temple facing the east direction. Sun rays fall in the shrine. There was a water tank in front of the temple. And the Sun temple at Modhera, Gujarat is the example for the Solanki school. These kind of temples are constructed in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Surya Kunda, there you can get down and reach the water area. It is made up of sandstone, black basalt, and soft marble. Now we are going to discuss about the Dravida style. It is enclosed within a compound wall. The front wall has an entrance gateway in its center known as Gopuram. Started by the Pallava dynasty. The best example is Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu, or Mamalam. We found 7 temples, rock cut architecture, Sapt Pagoda, but actually the number of temples were 8. The architecture is in the form of chariot, and the name of 8 pagodas are as follows. First one is Dharmaraja, next is Bhima, third one is Arjun, fourth is Sahadev, fifth is Draupadi, sixth is Pidari, seventh one is Ganesh, and the last one is Valaikuntai, which is also known as Vishnu. Pidari is the name of Murugan or Kartikeya. Dharmaraj is our Dharmaraj. Ganga descending on earth and penance of Arjun both are in Mahabalipuram. The shape of main temple tower known as Vimana cover on the Garbhagriha. After Pallava dynasty, Chola came and the capital of Chola was Tanjore. The Dravida style had reached to its climax. There are 2 magnificent temples constructed by Cholas. One is the Rajarajeshwar or Brihadeshwara Tanjore temple, And the next one is Gangai Konda Cholapuram Temple. Now we are going to discuss about the Vesar style. It is the hybrid style. It was a mixture of Nagara and Dravida. It was originated by Chalukya, further continued by Rashtrakuta and Hoysal, mainly in Maharashtra and Karnataka. Chalukya constructed mostly in Karnataka, mainly at two places, Aihol and Patataka. In Aihol, Durga Temple, Ladakan Temple, Jain Temple of Meguti, Hakimal Gudi Temple. In Patadakal, there are two temples, Pampanath Temple and Kailashnath Temple. Kailash Temple of Ellora by Rashtrakuta is constructed. Hoysal dynasty. They constructed the Hoyleshwar temple at the Halibut, Karnataka, which is declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And the second one is Virupaksha temple. I'm going to proceed further with the Indo-Islamic architecture, under which we are going to discuss about the Delhi Sultanate. Delhi Sultanate is also known as Slave Dynasty. Qutbuddin Aibak constructed three architecture in India. First, Adhai Din Ka Chopra in Ajmer, which is a mosque. Second, in the Delhi, two structures were constructed by him. One is Quwat ul Islam Mosque and the second one is Qutub Minar. It was constructed in the memory of Sufi Sant Qutub Uddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Red and white sandstones were used. These three structures were constructed by Qutbuddin Aibak. Next, after Aibak, Iltutmish came. His tomb is constructed near Qutub Minar in Delhi with red sand and stone carved very beautifully. No images of human and animals were present in any of the early architecture. Next one is the Khilji architecture. The Alauddin Khilji wanted to construct a minar larger than Qutub Minar, but it was not completed due to the excessive campaign in the Deccan also. He named that incompleted minar as the Alai Minar. He constructed the Alai Darwaza to the entrance of Qutub Minar premises. The speciality of Alai Darwaza is the dome or a true dome. A British archaeologist Marshall said Alai Darwaza is the diamond of the Islamic arc. Next is the Tughlaq architecture. He gave more importance to the strength of the building rather than decoration. He used battered style. In architecture, batter is the receding slope wall, structure or earthwork. A wall sloping in the opposite direction is said to overhang, and that was the technology of the slope. Very hard rocks were used like granite and basalt. There were three architecture under it. First one is the tomb of Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Second, the fort of Tughlaqabad. And the third, the tomb of Nijamuddin Aulia. He was known as the Mehboob-e Ilahi, meaning beloved of God. He was the Sufi Sant. Next, the Lodi architecture. They were masters of making garden. The example is the tomb of Sikandar Lodi. They construct octagonal eight-cornered garden in between a tomb was constructed. All of these were surrounded by the water channel. Platforms were constructed to go to reach the tomb. Next and the last one is the Mughal architecture. The specialty was the bulbous dome or onion-shaped dome. They changed the style of the dome. Second, the double dome. They consist of two domes, one inner and one outer, with the space between them. From outside, they look larger than the inside. The inner dome is smaller and supports the weight of the outer dome. The design allows for the taller and the more slender domes, and it also creates a dramatic visual effect. Third specialty is the squinch style, means the corner is curved. Fourth is Pitridora, where they were having the marble slab in which they used to make a floral design, means they carve the floral design, and in this they include diamonds and precious stones. Fifth one is Arabas techniques, the verses of Quran compiled in floral style, and they look like the Bel Bhuta. First king was the Babur. He came to India in the year 1526, and he was fighting continuously. First, in the 1526, he fought Panipat, 1527 Khandava, 1528 Chanderi, 1529 Ghagra, and 1530 he died. So basically, he didn't get much time to create architecture. He constructed only two mosques. First in Haryana Panipat, Kabliwala Mosque, and the second in Sambal, UP. Kabliwala Mosque completely made of bricks. Humayun. He had very less time, but he constructed a new city, Deenpana, in Delhi, for poor people. He constructed a library also, where he died. After the death of Humayun, his wife Hamida Banu, under her guidance, Humayun's tomb was constructed. It is also known as the precursor of the Taj Mahal. It was constructed with red sandstone, white marble. There are charbagh technique used, means the tomb was surrounded by the four gardens. Architect Mirza Ghias Beg was who came from Iran constructed it. It is also World Heritage Site. Next king is the Akbar. Akbar was the real founder of Mughal architecture. He created a separate architectural department. He constructed forts in Agra, Lahore, and Allahabad. Each fort was divided in two parts, Diwan-e Khas and Diwan-e-Aam. Diwan-e Khas was for the royal family, and Diwan-e-Aam was for the general people. He constructed Fatehpur Sikri, UP, new city constructed by Akbar. It was the capital of Mughal Empire. Many monuments were constructed within this premises. One of the special one is Buland Darwaza. It was created in the memory of victory of Gujarat over Gujarat after defeating Bahadur Sahab Pratham. Three stones were used: red stone, white stone, and yellow stone. Tudar arc technique was used in the Buland Darwaza, means that there were used of four curves, or we can say the four centers. It is the main entrance to the Jama Masjid. Inside it, there were several buildings: the Palace of Jodhabai, Palace of Birbal, Palace of Mariam or Harkabai, Rang Pachisi, which we can say the gaming house, Panch Mahal, Hidden Minar, tomb of Sheikh Salim Chishti. Akbar constructed his own tomb at Sikandrabad, UP, near to the Agra. This is the only tomb without the dome over it. This tomb was influenced by Buddhist Bihar. Next comes Jahangir. He was dedicated to painting. Noor Jahan, who was his wife, she constructed the tomb of Ismailullah, her father. First time use of Pitradora, so it is known as the forerunner of the Taj Mahal. She made Dilkhush Garden. It is in Lahore. Jahangir tomb is also there. By this, I am concluding. Thank you.